Welcome back and welcome to our weekly edition of All Things Women in Sports. We'll begin this week on the ice. The Professional Women's Hockey League, the PWHL, has a brand new champion. The Montreal Victoire won their first ever Walter Cup trophy last week with a 4-0 win over the Ottawa Charge. They are the first Canadian team to win the PWHL title. And it was this woman right here, at the back of her jersey you can see, Marie-Philippe Poulin, who was named the playoff MVP. She recorded a record-tying 8 postseason points this year. And after the win, she said the Victoire really battled through injuries and sickness this winter, but they always stuck together. All right, in softball, the stage is now set for this year's Women's College World Series. After battling through regionals and then super regional play, these are the top 8 teams which will head to Oklahoma City for this year's World Series. You got Texas Tech, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Texas, Alabama, UCLA, Arkansas, and Nebraska all vying for the title. They'll kick off play this Thursday, and a champion will be crowned on June 4th or June 5th. All right, so Texas is your defending champion after defeating Texas Tech in last year's finals. But interestingly, this is the first time since 2015 that the Oklahoma Sooners are not playing for a World Series title because they were upset by Mississippi State in Super Regionals. This is now Mississippi State's first ever World Series appearance. It's also the first time the Arkansas Razorbacks have qualified for the World Series. And the Nebraska Cornhuskers are making their first appearance since 2013. Again, these games all kick off this Thursday. Now, though, we're going to turn to tennis. One of the 4 majors of the year, Roland Garros, or the French Open, kicked off this weekend. This year, 19 American women qualified for the singles competition, and now that we are through round 1, there are 13 American women left. We'll start with one of the surprise upsets today. Just about an hour ago, world number 5, American Jessica Pegula, fell to Australia's Kimberly Biddle in 3 sets. However, several of the top-ranked American women are moving on to round 2, including Rock Island native Madison Keys. She's currently ranked 19th in the world and will now take on Croatia's Antonija Ružić. Also moving on, it's world number 6, America's Amanda Anisimova. She'll take on Austria's Julia Graber in round 2. And top-ranked U.S. woman, world number 4, Coco Gauff, is looking to defend her Roland Garros win from last year. She had to take on another top American talent in round 1, but she defeated Taylor Townsend in 2 sets, and now she'll face off against Egypt's Mayar Sharif. But you might not hear much from this year's top tennis athletes at the French Open. Some of the biggest names, including world number 1, Aryna Sabalenka, and American Coco Gauff, are scaling back their pressers to protest the tournament's revenue distribution. Now, many already limited their pre-tournament press interactions to exactly 15 minutes, which symbolizes the estimated 15% of total tournament revenue that Grand Slams allocate to the prize money pool. So how did we get here? Well, this year's Roland Garros prize pot did rise by 9.7% to about $72 million, and both men's and women's singles champions will take home more than $3.2 million. Those who are bounced in qualifying rounds will see about a 13% increase in payouts, while first-rounders will see about an 11.5% increase. And while you might say, hey, that's a lot of increases, and this does nearly double the prize pot from last year's tournament, it falls short of a lot of other Grand Slams. And many are pointing out that the French Open is bringing in a lot more money than it pays out. The Open's revenue grew by 14% last year, while prize money only increased by 5.4%. In fact, the players' share actually dropped overall to 14.3%. So players like Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka are advocating for a bigger prize purse, not so much for themselves, but they say this will mostly benefit lower-seeded athletes who have to pay for their own travel expenses and their team salaries. Many of the 200 best tennis players in the world are living paycheck to paycheck, Gauff said. All right, finally tonight, we have 2 local ladies nominated for this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standout. First up, we got Brooklyn Peterson from Riverdale, who hit a home run and scored 2 runs for the Rams. And she is joined by Anna Meyerhofer from Alleman, who scored a hat trick in Alleman's regional championship. So if you have your phone handy, scan this QR code and it'll take you directly to the page where you can vote for any of this week's nominees. You can also always find this on our website, WQAD.com, and you have until tomorrow at noon to cast your vote. Each week's winner is featured on Off the Cuff. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Women in Sports.